In this reflection, I want to cover some ways that I have kind of experienced in leading change efforts in my workplaces, um, and kind of like what lessons I've learned from them. Starting with when I was in undergrad, working as a car salesman, I wanted to kind of help the leadership and salespeople understand better what to expect as far as trends year over year for sales goals. So I introduced them to like simple regression and statistical analysis, showing them that it can help kind of like predict where their sales goals should be for the year based off of past years' performance. I tried to show everybody how it worked, but I didn't really have a clear vision in mind when I started doing that. So there wasn't really a lot of adoption by other salespeople to really use it as a tool. Another change effort that I spearheaded was in one of my jobs where I managed cleaning or janitorial services. I had forced, well, it was a bit coercive, I suppose, everybody to adopt using kiosks to punch in where previously they had used their mobile devices. This was met with a lot of hesitation and actually like anger by several of the people who didn't know how to use computers. So what I learned from that was I had to spend a lot of time in actual training on how to use the computers, how to use kiosks for full adoption, and I also had to be I had to have a few people that I had taught specifically how to help other people. So that really influenced me in another aspect, that kind of like having a coalition of people who are on your side as agents of change within the organization. Because one of the other businesses that I provide support to, they do not have a safety culture. Most places that I've worked, they had a safety culture codified in a handbook. This one did not. So I wanted to create a safety culture there. And what I did was I got together a group of people who were inspired by safety and the importance of it in the workplace, and knowing what the particular safety needs were within that organization. I asked them to meet with me on a regular basis to provide me with what their concerns were. So I spent some time really listening to them and kind of inspiring them to be leaders or agents of change within the organization. And we discussed ways that we can start implementing safety practices into the organization itself, meaning with our planning, with our preparation, with what tools were available to them. So I made special purchases that were in line with tools that they knew how to use properly, to conduct regular trainings on those tools, to have regular meetings about safety within the organization. And that helped so that when I announced a greater or a greater desire or a drive for a safety culture within that organization, I already had some people that were on board that had given me input about the organization itself. So when I started implementing safety practices in the workplace, they were the first people to help show their team members how to meet those safety goals that I had put in place, and how to follow the rules according to our new safety kind of culture, as I'm calling it. It's still a work in progress, but what I learned, especially from reading the book and from my own personal experience, was that having that group, that coalition of employees that were inspired by change and wanting to change, that really helps to move and build momentum, kind of that unfreezing of people by putting in like a foundation work, so that when other people have forces trying to prevent change, there's a group ready to kind of like stop that and keep pushing forward on change. So more incremental change rather than large scale change like I tried in the past and failed.